All right, it is time for Grinchathon TBR. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this video. This is going to be my Grinchathon TBR for summer 2022. Grinchathon is a readathon created and hosted by Izzy, Punkrockgirlpa, and we'll leave Izzy's announcement video up above and down below. And this round of the readathon goes from July 24th until July 31st, 2022. I'm really excited. I always love participating in Grinchathon. We have 8 prompts that we can use or ignore. It's a very open readathon. The first rule of Grinchathon is that there are no rules, so you can manipulate the challenges, ignore the challenges, you can read books you've already started, you can start books and not finish them during the readathon. The whole point is to read together, and so if the prompts, help and support that, great. If they're going to get in the way, you don't have to worry about it. So I am choosing books for the prompts. Actually, I think I've chosen multiple books for all of the prompts, so this is a little bit more of a pile of possibilities, which I don't normally do, but I think I'm gonna see how things go. I have a fair amount of stuff that I am in the middle of, and then a whole bunch of new stuff. My TBR is going up a little later than I normally would do a readathon TBR, but that's because I had a recent library trip and I wanted to see what I could find, and I found some really interesting stuff. I found one book that fits a prompt so well that I was like, I honestly, I don't think I could get a better choice. So that one I'm feeling very firm in, but some of them are a bit, a bit more flexible. So I am going to share the ones that I picked for each of the prompts. So the first prompt is cool, and the initial pick I had for this one was, or is, we'll see, everything I know about filmmaking I learned watching Seven Samurai by Richard D. Pepperman. And this one is cool because Readathon recommended a book by this author for me in their recommendations video recently, and I was so excited. But that book was Film School, which my library doesn't have, but my library does have this one. But the thing is, after now that I have looked at it, it really goes sort of very specifically into different time frames from the film Seven Samurai, which I have seen and I love. It's definitely on my favorite movies of all time list, which I haven't looked at in 10 years, but I'm sure it's on there. It's an extraordinary film. But now that I've looked at how specifically, like the different frames and stuff that it goes to, I want to rewatch the movie. So my plan is to hopefully rewatch the movie before the readathon and then read the book. So that's the goal. So the goal might be reading the book. The goal might end up being watching the film. It is a very long film. I think it's about 3 hours. It's available on Canopy, but it's actually 2 rentals because it's that long. And the film is by Akira Kurosawa as the director, and it's formidable. Like, it really, Seven Samurai is really just one of the best films out there. So, so I need to rewatch it before reading this, but it was so cool to have it be such a direct recommendation. So my backup pick for this is, I don't know how people are going to feel about this one. My backup pick is Fishes of Toronto, and this, I think fish are cool. I don't know if everyone else thinks fish are cool, but as I've been reading this, I'm halfway through it, like literally, that's where the staple is. But as I've been reading it, I'm in the middle of the checklist for cool water fish. They also have a checklist for cold water fish, eh? Cool, cold. So it's not all checklists. There are also, threats to fish in Toronto. That's not super cool. So there's lots of information on fish of Toronto, and I'm actually quite enjoying it, but it is a rather slow read because, but I am enjoying it. And actually a lot of the titles I picked I can use for multiple ones of the prompts, but those are the ones I picked for cool, so we'll see which of those, or if I get to for that. Number 2 is Easy. There's 2 kids series that I'm currently reading. Both are very easy, and I got more titles from the library. First up is Babymouse, and the next one I need to read is Dragonslayer, and this is by Jennifer L. Holm and Matthew Holm. It's a very easy kids book. Babymouse is a great character. She has lots of adventures, some in her imagination and some in reality. And so in this one, I imagine she has to slay a dragon for some reason. So there's that one. There's also the Kitty series, and the next one I have to read is number 4, Kitty and the Treetop Chase. Girl by day, cat by night, ready for adventure. It looks like this one has an owl involved, and Kitty is a young girl and her mom is a superhero, and she starts to develop superhero senses, and she goes on adventures at night and usually helping the cats in the neighborhood. It's another really easy read with lots of illustrations. Oh my goodness gracious, like how cute is that? I mean, you know, so I think both of these are very easy reads. Oh, that's a new character. And that's Kitty and her cat and her, yep, that's her mom. So yeah, so those are my picks for easy. I probably will read both, one of each of the series for that one. Next up is Rainbow. For that one, I'm going to read I'm a Wild Seed by Sharon Lee de la Cruz. This is a graphic memoir that is an LGBTQ plus title, and I am really looking forward to reading it. Oh, it looks like some... Okay, so we got some history here with Stonewall, and it's definitely has some challenges to it. Ooh, so this might be a bit of a more emotional read, but I am really looking forward to it. So that's definitely my pick for that. I do have a backup pick with the next in A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow by Makoto Hagino. And this is a Yuri title, so it's a girls' love title, and this is volume number 6, and this is the most recent, the last one that the library has that is available. There are 9 volumes. I can't remember if this series is complete or not, and so it's very cute. They're very sweet, although she looks a little sad there, but also very sweet. Oh, and there's also fish. Cool. Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow could be cool. And there's, I don't even know what that is. I'm infusing you with courage. Oh my goodness. They're like, honestly, it's really quite sweet. So I'm looking forward to that one. Next up, we have the free space. For that, I am going to, any of the library books would work for that because they're free. But I think I'm going to go with Ghostly Echoes by William Ritter. This is the 3rd in the Jacoby series. And reading the Jacoby series has become a sort of Grinchathon tradition for me, because I think I started the first one in one rando Grinchathon and then probably finished it in another rando Grinchathon. And the same thing happened with the second book. So I often end up reading them but not finishing them until a random Grinchathon. Now this one I did start fairly soon, and I do need to finish it because it is expiring from Scribd, which is how I'm reading it, although the library on Overdrive does have it as well, so I can access it that way if I don't finish it, but it will expire during the readathon on the 28th, so hopefully I can finish it before then, but I'm going to use that for the free space. The next prompt is pictures. One of the options I have for this I got from the library, and I wasn't sure if there were pictures in this one, but there are. So, The Fox's Tower and Other Tales by Yoon Ha Lee. It's a collection of magical stories, and it says, enter a world of magic and myth where foxes fall in love and robots build their own dragons. I mean, and I think it's 25. It's a fair amount of stories. And it's also an LGBTQ plus romance title, full of fascinating creatures and LGBT plus romances. So that could also work for Rainbow. I'm looking for a drawing. So there are pictures. That's beautiful. I wonder if those are watercolors or maybe computer generated. So I'm really looking forward to this one. This is one probably start but not finish, because 25 titles within 8 days is a little much for me. I like to sort of read collections over a longer period of time, but I definitely want to start that. And then also for pictures, this felt like a pretty good pick for that would be, okay, this is one that I just randomly picked up off the shelf. It's called Morpho, Clothing Folds and Creases by Anatomy for Artists by Mikhail Laurencella? Cella. And it's translated from the French, and it's literally, like, it's about how to draw folds. Like, it's really about, it's for artists to be able to draw clothing. And I love drawing, and it's some folds are hard to figure out. And so I thought this is fascinating. This is also an in-year release. So, oh yeah, that would be tough. A shirt like that. Or even just like how often when I draw people, I do draw their clothes. So instead of trying to figure out where their body is, I look for where the seams on the clothes are. That's a technique that I've used over the years, and I found it much more successful. So there was one. So also this will be a pretty fast read because there's not even any real words on the page. So looking forward to that. So that could be for easy. That could be for cool. I think that's cool. Nonfiction books about art. That's one of my categories of things I always look forward to. Where was I? So that was pictures. Oh, for pictures, I could also read Catstronauts, Race to Mars by Drew Brockington. This is the second book in this series, but I have a feeling I'll be okay. And this really is about, I think, cat astronauts. Oh, these is just cats at home. Oh, then space. So, space land? Maybe not. I don't know. Is it in their imagination? Do they go to space? Oh, the space race to Mars. Meow cookie. It just looks fun. Like, I couldn't resist. So also this could be easy, this could be pictures, this could be cool. Cats are cool. All of those things. And then for finish, this one actually is a little more serious, a little less, super fun. As I've been talking about it all year, lame as a hab. I do need to meet my page count goal for July still, so I need to read 30 pages, and that will get me to page 3. I think I'm on 345, so I need to get to 375, and then I'll have 330 pages left for the rest of the year, and I'm going to divide that into 3 and try and finish it in August, September, and October. Apologies for the timer going off. So Les Mis, I need to keep it on the list because I need to be consistent on this so that I am able to finish it for the end of the year, and I'm trying to finish all my reading goals by Halloween, so that's why it's only August, September, October. If it takes me longer, like whatever, but that's the goal. So that's my finish, is to finish my goal for the month, is how I'm interpreting finish. I also do need to finish Ghostly Echoes, so have some finishes in here. Okay, so prop number 7 is BA or badass, any interpretation of that, or band. This one I found on the shelf at my library. Band Book Club. And this is a memoir of, I think it's a girl. In Band Book Club, Hyung Suk shares her dramatic true story of political strife, fear-mongering, and the death of democratic institutions and the relentless rebellion of reading. So she's invited to a book club, and then she doesn't realize it's a book club for banned books. What's interesting, though, is when I looked, when I generally looked at it's graphic memoir, so it should be able to finish it. When I flipped through, I'm like, where's the book club? Like, I'm sure it happens, and I'm sure there's context, but I'm really curious. But I just feel like this is like the perfect pick for badass and band. I mean, really, and it's set in 1983 South Korea, if I understand correctly. Yeah, South Korea, 1983. So, I am looking forward to checking that out. That was just a random pickup from the shelves. I also may continue reading Street Art by Simon Armstrong, which is about graffiti artists, which of course is, in a way, one is badass, but also it is banned technically because it is, generally speaking, illegal. It's tagging, they talk about that and the culture of street art and graffiti, and like when it's can sort of transition from one to the other, and commercialism and stuff like that. So it's sort of on theme there. I also could dive into Forever by Judy Blume. This is definitely a book that ends up getting banned a lot, especially I think in the States. I don't think it gets challenged here. It is, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it's currently like has been at the whatever, like the librarian's list of popularly banned books, or most frequently challenged books. It was number 7. It was number 7, and it is about teenage sex. And as far as, I haven't read it before. I've read a lot of Judy Blume, but not this one, or Teen Sexuality, her groundbreaking novel on teen sexuality, and I think it's from the 60s or 70s, and so that's, I mean, I think it's Judy Blume. So it's like shocking, not shocking that it gets banned a lot or gets challenged a lot. 1975. But honestly, it's good to have books where, especially for discussion, and processing and learning and safe spaces. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, so that's an option for that. I've been hoping to read some more Judy Blume this summer. So far, I've only read Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, which the film actually is coming out next year. It was supposed to be this year, but now it's next year. So that's the only one I've read so far. So I hope Forever will end up reading for the summer, but maybe during Grinchathon. We shall see. And then last up, Izzy picked from a prompt jar, and it was a drawing of hearts. And I knew instantly what I was going to pick, especially if my library hold came in, and it did. And that is Romeo and or Juliet by Ryan North. This is a choose your own adventure style. And it also has, I didn't realize it had pictures. So you choose your own adventure and you change the page and then you go there. I think people know what choose your own adventure is. So I'm very, very curious to see what this is like. And I know that Izzy read it in another round of Grinchathon, and I had wanted to get it. And I requested the ebook copy, but it didn't work well. Like, you had to, anytime you clicked, like, I want page 35 or I want page 126, it would just take you to the table of contents. Now, that might just be my device. If I read it like online, on the online reader, maybe it would be different, but the whole took forever to come in, and then I couldn't read it. So I am thrilled that I can read it, because I think there are some books where, I can't wait to get to that page. I got to make sure I get to choose 138 at some point. But I think choose your own adventures are ones where it's just simply easier to read in physical format. I've had almost zero luck with that style of book reading in digital format, and I've tried multiple times. And I think obviously this is a riff on Romeo and Juliet, so I think it totally works for hearts. And a bonus, Canadian, because Ryan North is Canadian. Hey! So very exciting about that. I do also, because like, as if that isn't enough, I did pick up a bunch of stuff that just has like green covers. Oh, there's one hold in here that I might eke in because I might need some shorter reads. So I picked up some kids books, and I have Escape from Shutter Mansion, Goosebumps, Slappy World. I don't know if I want to start a new subset series of Goosebumps, but this one is about someone who's obsessed with a video game, and that's based on a real spooky house in their neighborhood. I mean, like, that just, it's just easy. So it's just like, they're easy reads and they're fun reads. I also have this one, Siberia by Chris Lynch, Monkey See, Monkey Don't. This is the second book in a series, and it's got something to do with evil scientists and animals and someone who can talk to animals. I am not sure. It was green. It had a monkey. I picked it. I also picked up, this one doesn't work technically, but so this is a Star Wars kids book, Adventures in Wild Space, The Nest, and it has drawings in it, so it would work for pictures and easy. But this is actually, again, the second book. I ended up randomly picking the second book in a lot of series up, but the first book is available on Overdrive. There's actually a 0 book prequel-ish, or a starter, that's also on Overdrive, and it's under 100 pages, and this is like 100 pages too. So yeah, Star Wars is always fun. So I haven't read a lot of other works. I read Oh, I did read the first in the Thrawn trilogy. I read that one, but I haven't read any other stuff. So anyway, I thought that would be fun and very quick. And then I also have The Giant Under the Snow by John Gordon. This also has illustrations. This one I requested, and apparently a long time ago I heard that it was being adapted to a film. I don't know, I haven't looked into that recently, but it's a kid's novel about a magical, like a Celtic magical something. So I think it's like folklore kind of inspired adventure kid story. And then I also, for a super easy read, got Brave Enough by Cheryl Strayed, which is mostly quotes and sort of inspiring. Hello, Fear. Thank you for being here. You're my indication that I'm doing what I need to do. So I think that would be a very, fast read for a readathon, and they all just simply had green covers. So anyway, there is my huge pile of possibilities and TBR for Grinchathon. I will leave, as I said, the announcement video down below. If you do a TBR, make sure that you let Izzy know, because for every TBR done, she is donating to abortion funds, and she will donate specifically to the area if you specify a particular area. So make sure that you do that and let her know, and let me know if you're participating in the readathon. I am really looking forward to it, and I have so many options I don't even know where to start. But I do know where to start. I have all of these options. That's where I will start. Maybe I should pick one per each challenge and just go from there. That sounds like a very reasonable way to go. Maybe that's what I'll do. So let me know if you're participating. I can't wait. And if you've done a TBR, and I'm looking forward to reading together, and it's going to be another great round of Grinchathon. Thanks so much for watching.